My name is David Madison, the 15th of May 2021. I'm an ex-clergy atheist, and I find it very gratifying that atheism has gained so much momentum in the last 2 decades. Well, more than 400 books have been published explaining in detail the falsification of theism, Christianity especially. Contemporary atheists have stated the blunt truth, hence this series of videos, Cure for Christianity Knockout Quotes. This is quote number 39. The Indian Ocean tsunami, which happened the 24th of December 2004, killed 227,898 people. And this included probably 80,000 babies, toddlers, and children, drowned, crushed. James A. Hout has pointed out that Christian theology about a loving God who supposedly oversees the world was also crushed by the tsunami. In an essay titled, "Why Would God Drown Children?" he wrote this, quote, "Surely after this horror, more perceptive people will see that it's bizarre to go to church and worship a God who presided over the drowning of perhaps 80,000 children and twice as many adults. Surely they'll begin to realize that the vast rigmarole of God-worshipping rests on a fairy tale, unsuited for enlightened moderns," unquote. I discuss this at length in my recent article on the Debunking Christianity blog titled Incurable God Addiction, because anyone who can just overlook the tsunami or make excuses for God to be able to cling to God surely is incurably God addicted. Christians cannot say, the tsunami, oh that, let's just put it in the file called Don't Think About It. Well, of course not, because the Christian concept of God is destroyed by the tsunami. Christians cannot say, oh, God is mysterious. That's a cop-out. That's another way of saying, I don't want to think about it. Frankly, it's just too dangerous to think about it and still preserve Christian theology. Christians cannot say, well, God used the tsunami as punishment, for example, for gay marriage. Just think about that. God drowned 80,000 babies, toddlers, and children to punish gay marriage. That's a horrible God you've got there. Why not just punish gay people for getting married? You know, strike them with lightning or something, instead of killing babies. But the problem is much wider, much broader than the tsunami. Hout also wrote this, which is Cure for Christianity, knockout quote number 39. Quote, how could a loving creator devise hurricanes, earthquakes, floods, twisters, and other people killers? How could he concoct leukemia for children, breast cancer for women, Alzheimer's for the old, and the like? How could he fashion cheetahs to disembowel fawns, and sharks to rip up seals, and pythons to crush pigs? Only a fiend would invent all these vicious things, unquote. Christians, of course, tend to romanticize nature. You know that favorite hymn, "This is my Father's world, the birds their carols sing, the morning light, the lily white, declare their Maker's praise. This is my Father's world, I rest me in the thought of rocks and trees, of skies and seas, his hands, the wonders wrought." But how come your Father's world also has leukemia, breast cancer, Alzheimer's, and hurricanes and earthquakes? Nature is actually brutal. The next time you look at a pretty landscape, flowers and trees and serene rivers, remember that every minute of every day, billions of creatures are eating billions of other creatures alive. As Hout has said, only a fiend could invent all these vicious things. Come on, Christians, all this talk about God so loving the world sounds like so much theobabble. It's theological propaganda, unsuited for enlightened moderns.